Okay, guys, I know I'm being very impulsive with this, what I'm trying to present to you at the moment. I've been wanting to do different types of swaps, and I've always been attracted to like the loaded pocket things, or like, you send them to a friend, or, a crafty friend, or things like this. And so I've done like the ephemera folders, which are always great. Everyone loves that. It's a really fun swap. It just works out really well. We've tried flowers, like little potpourri bags of flowers. We've done traveler's notebooks. Right now I do the embellishment case swap, which I opened. This swap is going to be a loaded pocket. I'm going to show you how to make the loaded pocket. And for this one, since it's the first one, and this is going to be a really fast turnaround, I need you guys to send them in no later than next Wednesday, which I know it's Monday. That's a whole weekend, plus some days, get it in the mail, and I think it'll be doable. I'm going to show you right now. I don't know if I'll make both of them right now. I possibly will. That way you can see it's not hard to make two at the same time. But before I get too far, if I have any items that like packaging or other things that you can pick up from like Amazon or something like that, I'll have it linked in the description box. Those will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission for your purchase items to those links. I hope you're following. It's going to be a loaded pocket, probably like what you saw in the thumbnail. In this video, I'll probably just show you how to make the pocket itself because it's not really an envelope. Well, I never said envelope, did I? I said pocket. I know we have dyes and things that make those kind of things. I have some from Tonic. I mean, they're not inexpensive, but at the same time, you're not really going to order and have it by, the time you need it. So having all that in mind, it's going to be Fall-oween, like happy Fall-oween. Fall-oween, whatever you want to call it, swap, which means for me it's geared towards Halloween. I really love Halloween. It's so much fun. So I have lots of fun things to share with people that I think it'll be fun to present them in this way, like papers and everything else that I have that I can kind of play with, and I hope you do too, because that's basically the point. I'm hoping these things are things you have. You can just grab them and get this going and make it really cute. Mostly paper related, to be honest. I think the only thing you might have to go grab, well, I would think, is maybe the memo pad, because I want to include an embellished or altered memo pad, which I was inspired by my little happy mail from Kathy recently. Oh, gonna grab it. And this is her little memo pad that she had sent me with a beautiful Anna Griffin item on there. So it's just going to be something like this, very simple. We used to make these all the time back in the day. We started making them fancier and things, but it's just basically a memo pad covered with a little something like this. But we'll talk about that in just a minute. So what I'm hoping is, again, Fall-oween, that can be Halloween related, it could be fall related. Just know that you are going to get, if you don't celebrate like Halloween or if it's something you don't care for, you might get a Halloween related swap back, okay? So just like in the embellishment case swap, we're going to have 2 entries. So you're going to make 2 of them, send them in, and then I'll swap you out with 2 other people and I'll send those to you. Honestly, I haven't even typed up the info. I just wrote things down and then I made a little pocket on the back of this that makes sense to me, and hopefully it'll make sense to you. So we will work on that in just a minute. I was even debating just folding over like a lunch bag, which is really cute, but maybe that's next time. So for this one, I would really want it to be the pocket that I show you, and then of course you're gonna do whatever you want. But as far as the construction, because that way I know they're gonna fit in here. Initially in my mind, I was like, oh, I want to put them in a small flat rate box, but that would be really tiny. I mean, they can only be like this tall, and about that wide. So it's not going to work out. So for this, it's going to be a 5x7 pocket, okay? The back of it is going to be 5x7. We're going to create it in this video, and you'll know what that means. And then you're going to load your pocket up as such, okay? So you're going to make 2 of them, right? With the Fall-oween, happy Fall-oween, however you want to pronounce it, stuff. So you're going to have 3 bows or rosettes. You can do a mixture of bows and rosettes, but you need 3 total. And the reason I do this, and I'm very specific as far as what you need, is because I don't vet people. I don't ask that you have an Instagram. I don't need to see your YouTube videos. Like, if you want to join, that's great. You have to follow the basic guidelines, okay? So the basic things that you go in there, you can do extra. That doesn't bother me, as long as it's not too much, because I can't really sit and go through one person's swap for 20 minutes, you know what I'm saying? I need to go through it kind of timely. So 3 bows or rosettes, it could be 3 rosettes, 3 bows, or a mix, 2 bows and 1 rosette, whatever. At least larger than an inch, okay? An inch or bigger, because I don't need them to be little tiny things. They should be like sizable and really nice, okay? So this is basically an embellishment pocket. I guess I should go back and talk about that. So it's a loaded pocket, and loaded pockets, if you're not familiar with them, they just have a bunch of fun things in there, paper crafty or whatever it is that you want, whatever it is that you want to send to your friends or that people are requesting in a swap. And that's what I'm starting with. You're going to include 1 tag. It could be a shaker tag or not, but just a tag, right? So a nice size tag. I didn't put a size limit on it, but if it's too tiny, it's just going to shrink in there and you're not going to see it. So a nice size tag, okay? Decorate however you like. An altered memo, which is this. And I just grabbed some actually at the Dollar Tree. Was it from the dollar store? 99 cent only. I don't know. I've been to a couple places recently. I grabbed some orange ones and like a teal one. I thought it'd be really cute if I did Halloween. That's a little avant-garde colorway. So basically they're 4 inches, right? No, 3 inches? How big are my mopeds? I know they have different ones. It needs to be, yeah, the 3-inch block type memo pad, okay? Or 2 7/8, whatever it is. So that they're all the same, okay? So that everybody gets the same kind of thing. So that might be something you need to go pick up, but other than that, just decorate with your papers and stickers and things like that. You're going to make a shaker mix, and you have to include at least a tablespoon for your swap partners. You know, I have these little syringe things. If you want to pop them in there, put them in a little, like, vial from, like, the Dollar Tree, put them in a plastic baggie, which I had some here. I can't really reach one. But, you know, something like that that's not going to open. At least a tablespoon. I know a lot of people are very generous, and that's really great, but you have to include at least 1 tablespoon. Like, when I make a shaker, even a full card, I only put, like, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon, maybe half a teaspoon of shaker material in there. So a tablespoon is a generous amount that a person can use really well, right? So at least a tablespoon or more, but at least a tablespoon, and we'll get to that whenever I make mine mix. You need to include 5 die cuts. Again, it's Fall-oween if you want it to be like fall related or Halloween, but make, you know, your swap that it's nice and makes sense, right? I don't know if you want to mix a lot of Halloween and fall, but like leaves, you know, and then Halloween things are jack-o'-lanterns, like all that goes, right? So again, 5 die cuts of anything. They can be, you know, spider webs, pumpkins, like I mentioned, little ghosts, or Frankenstein, paper piece things, whatever it is that you want is die cuts, but 5 of them. They can be different, generally different die cuts, okay? But again, you're making 2 sets. And then 1 embellishment for your pocket, and that can be like a little rosette that makes it cute, or like an altered paper clip that you put on that makes it cute, a little dangle, you know, things like that. And that's it. So I was going to say a treat, like, you know, sometimes people want to include a little candy or a little something. That's not required, but if you want to, you know, go ahead. Just don't go, you know, too crazy, right? We need to, again, if it's 5 by 7, yours is here, and the other person's is here. This is 9 inches. I'm going to return it in a flat rate padded envelope. However you want to send it in, that's fine. If you want to send one for me, I really appreciate that. That's really sweet. I was going to say it's not recommended. It's not required. It is easier, though, because I can open the one that's for me and show it, you know, to you guys. And then the other 2 can stay perfectly closed up. But otherwise, I'm going to have to try to carefully open it. Unless it's too, like, involved the way the person closes it up, I'm probably not going to open it. I can just kind of go through and show it a little bit. But generally, that's how we make sure everyone's following the rules. Open one up, share it. Show off all your good work, and then I package it back up and, you know, send it off to the next person. So I am going to send it back in this. That means you need to include the shipping for this in your swap when you send in your swap in cash, and I think it's $9.65 for a padded envelope. Also, please include with your, however you send it in, I'm assuming if you send it with a padded envelope, or if you send it with a box, I'm going to use part of your box to put it in here, because obviously it's a padded envelope, it's going to get squished at some point, right? So things might get a little squished. If you send yours in with a piece of chipboard or cardboard, you know, just cut up a box or whatever, I will send yours back that same way, okay? So that way it's more protected. That's kind of why I haven't been doing loaded pockets, because honestly I didn't know, like, how to best ship it. The reason I do these padded envelopes or like the small flat rate is because it's more inexpensive, right? I think a medium flat rate box now is like $16 or $17. So unless I stand in line and really know and weigh things and then send it to you, like, you know, you need to send this much, and it's just, that's not going to happen. That's kind of expensive, right, for shipping. So I like to use these package options because it's minimal. I'm not saying that's like, oh, the cheapest thing, but it is minimal investment, right, in that part. So that's why I do it this way. We'll see, you know, fingers crossed, they show up really nice. You know, when they swap out, it seems like they do. Even whenever people use this for other swaps, everything's fine. But please try to include a piece of chipboard or a piece of cardboard, and when I swap yours out, I will include that piece that you sent back with you, right? And if this is yours, I'll get your piece of cardboard out, and I'll pop it in here, then I'll put in your swaps and send it back, okay? So if you can do that, that'd be great, because otherwise I'll be cutting up boards and sticking them in there, but it'd be better if you can just do that, because that'll protect yours on the way in anyway, and then on the way out, it'll have more protection. So let me go over it again. If you are interested, you need to sign up by the 28th, which is literally Wednesday, because you need to start working on it and send them back in. So, you know, if 10 people sign up, or 15 or 20 or 30, I don't care. I know this is short notice. It's just something I really want to do. It'll kind of help me work out kinks, if there are any, for doing this in the future, right? So I just really love the Halloween stuff. So have a lot of things I want to do. And this is different from the embellishment case because these things can be larger, right? Where the embellishment case, everything has to be like 1.5 inches or smaller. This is like a larger thing. And then more chunky than, or like chunkier than like the ephemera swap, right? So this is kind of it fills a different niche, I suppose. So again, we're going to make a 5x7 pocket. I'm going to show you right now how to make it. And I want you to follow my instruction for this one just so that they're all uniform. And maybe next time, it doesn't matter, you know, do whatever you want. But for this time, please make the pocket the way I instructing. It's going to be really easy. Okay. So then you're going to have 3 bows or 3 rosettes in your loaded pocket, 1 tag. It can be a shaker or not, whatever you want to do for a tag, but obviously embellish it nicely. An altered memo pad, a shaker mix, a glitter mix, at least a tablespoon, and then 5 die cuts. Whatever your theme is, you know, die cuts of that. Again, if you want to go more fall or more Halloween, that's up to you. And the whole and your whole little swap, right? Let's say it's very fall, you know, maybe it's a lot of pumpkins and leaves and like trucks and cute things. That's up to you. Just know you might get a Halloween one back, okay, if you're not interested in Halloween. And then at least 1 embellishment for your pocket, meaning the pocket that we create, so a little something else. I am going to create the pocket with heavyweight paper. I would say, obviously, it should coordinate with the paper that you're going to be using. Like the decorative papers you're going to be using. I haven't even chosen the decorative paper I'm going to use, so I'll probably just make my pocket in black paper because that's the easiest. But I know at Hobby Lobby, if like you have to go grab paper because you don't have time to order it, they have the ultra, or I guess they call it ultra heavyweight paper. That stuff is really good, and they have it in like every color, like packs of pinks or reds or green or whatever, and the extra heavyweight, which is like 110 pound. But without further ado, my email will be in the description box, VianneyCreatesSwaps@yahoo.com. You can sign up. It needs to be postmarked no later than next Wednesday, which I already forgot the date on that. I think Saturday is the 8th, right? 8, 7, 6, Saturday, the 5th? October 5th? Sounds good. Either way, I'll whenever you email to sign up, I will respond with the information. Please do not send anything if you haven't heard back from me, because that would mean you're not signed up yet. And it's possibly that I don't really have a full, I don't think, because it's only going to be 2 days of being able to sign up. So, you know, I think it'll be fine. So, and like I said, as many people sign up or as little people sign up, I'm still going to do the swap. So I think it'll be fun. I think it'll get us using our stuff. Like, I know I have tons of bow dies that I haven't really used, and I really want to use them. That's literally why I'm doing this swap right now, for that reason. So let me grab my paper so I can show you the basic pocket, and then I'll follow up with videos on rosette and bow and things like that, okay? Even though you probably should start working on it, right? But you guys know, if you have dies to make bows that are nice, right? At least a couple layers. If the bow doesn't have to be a couple layers, but, you know, with some little something cute in the center or whatever, just not a very basic bow, like dress it up a little bit, right? Same thing, you know, with the rosette. Obviously with rosettes, you have your little, if you want to make them from crepe or just actual paper. That's why I think a rosette was a good option. I threw that in there because even if you don't have dies, you have a paper cutter and I'm sure you have something to score on, and you can make rosettes real easy. I have other videos on that too. So super easy. Tags, you can make a tag by hand. You can use a die or whatever, you know, however you want to make a tag, decorate it up. And then the shaker mix, again, whatever glitter you have that's really cute in Halloween colors or fall colors. I mean, I'm sure we have something that's like black or blue or an orange or purple or whatever you want for Halloween. Maybe browns and golds for, you know, fall, whatever it is that you like. And then an embellishment for each pocket. So I think these are things that people can do just having the stuff they have at home, right? But let me grab some paper and we'll get started. Okay, so in my mind, oh, again, the memo. I forgot to mention that when I was running through. That might be the one thing you might have to go pick up. But again, it's just paper that's just a little bit bigger than that. Kathy had put it on this little board. You can definitely do something like that. Whatever fits in your pocket, that's up to you, however you want to decorate it, but it needs to fit in your pocket, of course. Now, actually, that's curious. I had designed my pocket to hold a 1/4 inch out here, and this is about 1/2 inch itself. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch. Ooh, okay. So I'm going to change some of my numbers really quickly. I will be right back, because what I wanted was the first pocket to be about 1/2 inch and then the second one to be a 1/4 inch, but that's not going to work. So let me rework my numbers really quickly, and I will be right back. Okay, that only changed my numbers a little bit. So what I'm going to do is, and I hope this makes sense, our pocket is going to be 5 by 7. But what I'm going to do is come up the bottom and up around the front to create the pockets. So the pockets are going to be other pieces of paper that I'm going to add on top of this. And the reason I'm doing that is so it's sturdier. I know there's probably other ways to do this, but I really wanted the thing to be sturdy. I don't want it to get all smashed, you know what I'm saying, as it's in the mail. So if the pocket does get smashed, that's not the biggest deal, but the contents will be safer. So I just want that sturdiness to be in there. So hopefully that makes sense. So on one of my papers, I'm going to cut it 8 3/4 by 5 inches wide. So I'll go with the 5 inches for now. And then 8 3/4. Okay, 8 3/4 by 5 inches. I'm gonna put that to the side. I also need some other paper that is 4 inches tall by 7.5, and one that's 8.5. Funny about that is that this is European paper. It's only 8 1/4, so that's kind of a bummer. I can't really maximize this paper. But if you were just using regular size paper, I think you can get both of these measurements on one sheet of A2 size paper. But I need this piece to be, I'm just trying to see what I can do. 2.5 by 8.5, so I'm going to cut the 2.5 by 8.5. Okay, and then 4 by 7.5. So since I already have this cut, I can cut it 7.5 this way. And then 4 inches tall. And these guys are going to layer in front of each other with this in the background. And it'll make sense in just a minute, okay? So let me put these things to the side. My trimmer's not working. So our main pocket is going to be the piece that is 8 3/4 by 5. And then this piece that's going to be this the first pocket. It's a little bit taller, so then it's kind of staggered. Is going to be 4 tall by 7.5 inches wide. And then our smaller pocket is longer, and you're going to think, why is that? But we'll talk about that in just a minute. It is 2.5 inches tall by 8.5. 2.5 by 8.5, okay? So let's remove these guys and let's work on our base piece. All we're going to do with this guy is score it at, and I'll tell you what my numbers mean. I want a 1/2 inch glue tab, so I'm going to score it at 1/2 inch. Okay, that's easy enough. And then from there, I want to clear the 3/4 inch thickness of the larger pocket and the 1/2 inch thickness of the smaller one. So that's 1 1/4 inches. So from 1/2 inch, I'm going to go to, so from the 1/2 inch line, I'm going to go to 1 3/4, which is right here, 1 3/4. Because this is the 1/2 inch that we need for the front pocket thickness and the 3/4 inches that we need for the other pocket. And that is that. So I'm going to go ahead and score this. Not super well, because we're going to have some work, I'm sure, to actually get this going. So this is what's going to be the base of your little pocket. And then we're going to have the first pocket that's a little bit higher, and then the second pocket, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. So this is the next piece, the 4 inch by 7.5. And on this one, on both sides, we're going to score it with a 1/2 inch glue tab. So 1/2 inch glue tab. And I'm just talking this out for you guys. So 1/2 inch glue tab on both sides. And we want it 3/4 inches thick. So from 1/2 inch, we're also going to score at 1 1/4. So that's 1 2 3/4, right? Inch thickness. So I'm going to turn it back over here. And 1 2. So again, 1/2 inch and 1 1/4 on each side. So these guys, again, just a little bit of scoring, not doing too much, because in case later we got to zhuzh it a little bit. I don't want these guys to just be super stiff already. This is our first pocket, and he's going to go just like this. Okay, and that's the bottom of it. And then the next one has that 1/2 inch piece. So this is our next piece that again is 8.5 by 2.5. And this one, all we're going to do is give ourselves a 1/2 inch glue tab. 1/2 inch glue tab. And again, once we start, I will write these numbers down in the instructions, okay? Because I know people probably want to have this, especially since I'm saying you have to do it the way I'm showing, right? So that's a 1/2 inch glue tab. It's going to go around to the back. But we need to clear the 3/4 inches of the thickness of this pocket. So that's 1 2 3, that's 1 1/4. Plus the 1/2 inches that this thing is going to be. So 1/2 inch right here. So again, we're scoring at 1 3/4. So 1/2 inch score, 1 3/4 inch score. 1/2 inch score, 1 3/4 inch score. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of a zhuzh. Now, before we start gluing everything together, you might want to matte and layer some of these pieces, or you can just kind of stick your hand in there later to matte layer. So hopefully this makes sense. This is gonna go in here, and it can go in here like this, or it can tuck behind if that's easier for you, and then cover it from the back with another piece of paper if you want, or just leave it raw. I don't know what I want to do. Do I want to do it that way? It doesn't really matter. Either way, if you want to glue these in the back. I think it looks cleaner, but it's up to you. Again, if you're going to cover the back again, that's up to you. And then this guy does the length of everything, the width of everything, and then this guy is going to glue in here. Okay? What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and get a piece of paper to matte layer this and also this. So, if we take measurements, we know this is 5 by 7. This is 5 by 7 because we already know that's what we wanted, 5 by 7. So I'll probably matte layer it with something that is like 4 7/8 by 6 7/8, right? Because I like eighths. If you don't like eighths, you know, take a 1/4 inch off all around. For this guy, we're going to cover this piece, and this is 4 by 5. So I'm going to cut a piece of paper that's 3 7/8 by 4 7/8. And then for this guy, I'm going to put like a little shaker or something cute, and we don't really have to decorate that right now because it's in the front anyway. So I'll be right back. I'm going to grab some Halloween papers and look through my stash, and I'll be right back. Oh my gosh, you guys, you know, I started looking through my papers, and I remember I have this paper. It's Zodiac paper, but I think it's really pretty for like a nighttime kind of thing. So look at this one. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this down for the sizes like I mentioned, and I'll be right back. I turned this paper around, I didn't realize, look at this. There's no way I'm going to cut that up and cover up this part, but I think I'm going to use this for the shaker pocket in the front. So, alright, now this means I'm totally making up my colors and stuff because it's Halloween themed, but at the same time, choosing the colors I chose, that means I really need to find some embellishments that go along with this, you know, really cute. Okay. Again, it's just the night sky more than anything. I mean, should I maybe cover the blue part? I think that blue part makes it more Zodiac than anything else. So I'm going to put this down. And like I said, in the instructions I send you, I will have the numbers written down. So we have this guy. And then we have this guy. Just have fun with it, guys. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm not going to get all these things and we don't get to use them, so definitely pull out your dies, you know, have to do with fall, Halloween, whatever it is. I think I will cover this to the back, and then this one's going to go around to the back, and then I'll just cover the back piece. But again, if you want to just put it in the front, it's not a big deal. You can even cover it with this, like go ahead and glue it down. I've shown you guys how to do that in the past with like other boxes and things. You would glue this down and then put this piece of paper in between, right on top of those layers. However you want to do it. But since I'm doing it this way, what I'm going to do is put some glue. And this part, not that it's tricky, you just have to pay attention, because when I go to put this on, it needs to be level here. Right? With the base of what we're doing. So I'm just going to glue that down. And I guess, you know, I'll show it to you open, that way you can see what I'm talking about. Let's open back up the 1/2 inch glue tab. You're lining it up right at the base of the score line that's coming up this way, because this guy is going to come up and around like this, and this is what keeps things from falling out the bottom. Okay, so you're basically lining up the base of this with that score line. That's kind of why I didn't go ahead and bone fold anything, because I'm like, it might cause me a problem later. So I have that guy, and then when I bring this around, again, since I did it on the back, I'm just going to have to hold it a different way. I'll hold different back here. Have my fingers in here. If that's hard for you to do, just lay it down and slide like a bone folder or something in there to help you give it that to push against. And again, you know, I mean, if you have something cute that you want to punch on the top and give it a little something, go ahead. It needs to be 5 by 7 though, so if you're going to account for your own punching A lot of times it takes like a 1/4 inch off the top. I do have an idea though that I'm going to put on here that's going to be fun. Now this guy is our next pocket, and that's why it's so wide, because he's going to clear all that and come up to the front. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. Right down there. And again, right against flush against this thing, so that when we pick this up and glue that in, it is right where it needs to be. See? Hope you can see what I'm saying. It just makes like a little box. And again, you know, I just made up these numbers to work with our swap, but hopefully if this is fun for you, you'll do more on your own, and you can send them to your buddies and your friends, however whatever numbers you come up with, you know. Just try to make sure that that's pretty good. Okay. A little bit higher up. Okay. Now, you can also put a little glue on this at the very base, because it's going to come up and touch that side. But I wouldn't put it across the whole thing, because clearly later you're going to need that. And I made it 1/2 inch for a reason. I know this is going to be thicker than 1/2 inch once you put your little decoration on the front, right? But that way it'll hold it snugly and won't just like fly out of the bag either, or the packaging, you know, however it is that you put it together. So that's why I did that. And then this guy's going to go over here. Again here, and a little bit just down towards the base. So when I go like this, everything's layered up on top of each other. And there you go. Now, if you don't want the pieces in the back, like you don't want to layer this up again with another whatever it is you're going to do, just stick these two guys together, you know, flush, and then stick them together to the front side of this panel. I hope those things make sense. I don't think these are confusing things, but just something to keep in mind when you're constructing yours. In the instructions I send you, the guidelines, I will have the numbers. I'm not really going to walk through putting it together, because that's why I do videos and not instructions, because instructions are much harder than just putting a video together. Now, with this little guy, we can divot this out if that makes it easier for you to glue it in. So just on the very corner of that guy, you know, just take a little bit off like that. And I'm going to put my little glue right in here. And this is the basic pocket, guys. Again, it's going to have a lot of sturdiness because we're layering it up with papers. They're layered up on themselves, right? On the sides here, this is extra reinforcement. And what I'm hoping is that that will help bows and things from getting squished. So I'm just tucking that in. Look how nice that fit. I mean, perfect. I'm just going to tuck this in here and make sure the bottom, that they're making contact, right? That tab is touching this guy. And this is completely handmade, so again, do your best. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay. That is the pocket. Now, hopefully what you're going to see is that if we have two of these with, you know, bags that are over and all that stuff, and maybe you put a little decoration on the bag, it's going to fit in here nicely. Two of them will fit in here nicely, and they don't get hurt, you know. So, I don't know if I'm going to, let me check the time, because I wanted to get this video going so that you guys can see what we're doing. This is the basic thing. You can get started with it. Make your bows, rosettes. If you know how to make bows, you can get started. And I mean die cut bows, like paper bows. I don't mean fabric bows or ribbon or things like that. Just really cute paper bows or paper rosettes or whatever you want to do with the rosette, of course. Let me check the time. I'll be right back. Guys, you got to be kidding. I don't know what happened. Apparently I didn't press record. All I did was put this little strip on here, which I said I was probably going to do down here anyway, so let's just talk about that one more time. So this piece was a piece that's 4 by 7/8 inches wide. Like I said, decorate it however you like. This is the basic box, though. This is what your box should look like, and then from there you do whatever you like. You want a corner round, you know, go ahead. If you want to cut away again, if you want to like do something cute, little edge treatment or something, just make sure this ends up being 5 by 7, right? Your base. So this is another piece I just cut. It's like 1.5 inches, maybe still a little bit too deep, by 4 7/8, and all I did was just cut this down. I do not know what happened. I pressed the button and oh well. And then over here, a lot of times when you think you pressed the button and you didn't, it's recording what you were like going to get stuff. So I checked back and no, it was the last part that I talked to you guys, so I don't know what happened there. Alright, I'm going to put this on here too. I could trim it down a little bit, but that's okay. So I'm just going to get this on here. And then we're going to make a little shaker pocket just because I think shakers are cute, and why not? So after I put this on here, I have this. So this piece, again, to cover the front, is 4 7/8 inches wide. It is 2.5 inches tall, so this piece is 4 7/8 by 2 3/8. And so is this piece of acetate, because I'm going to make a pocket. Now, this piece of acetate, I was saying that it's heat-resistant acetate, which costs more, but like that's what's in front of me, and that's what I need to work with, because I'm not going to spend more time looking for other acetate. But it's a bummer, because now I had to redo my video, so that took more time. Okay, let me grab my sewing machine. I'll be right back. I was going to use mesh too, but that looks really cute when you put mesh on here. You can run this through an embossing folder so it has texture. I mean, there's lots of fun things. Now, you don't have to do this. I'm just doing something extra because it's a swap and we like to be a little extra. So, I'm just layering them over each other, and basically you're going to leave a spot open so you can decide where that should be. I think I'm going to... I don't know. I'll just start here. So, I am going to put this on like a zigzag stitch, which should be... is H. We'll see if that works for us. Hopefully it will. And give myself plenty of room here. And actually I'll start here. And again, I'm just lining it up. Obviously you can't really see what I'm doing. I always like to hold my strings and get this into the paper. And then just start going. Now I don't know if this thing is just on. Yeah. So I'm just going to go around this little edge. That is a very tight zigzag, which is kind of a bummer, but that's okay. And then I'm going to put my needle down, I'm going to lift up my presser foot, turn it, go to the next side, go all the way down that side. I wanted a looser zigzag, but that's okay. That's cute. Okay, I'm going to pick it up one more. And I'm just going to go around the whole thing, okay? So I'll be right back, leaving a space open. I think I'm kind of at the end of where I'm going to go, so I'll lift that up. And generally I make like a little mix before I get this ready, but I didn't, so let's just do this. And I'm just using some fun kind of fruity colors. I'll probably still put some traditional things in there like later for my embellishments and things, but this is the colorway I wanted to go with for this Fall-oween. And again, I don't put a ton. Ooh, that was way more than I was expecting. Come on, babies. Come on back. Okay. And I'm just going to funnel this in here if I can. So again, I left a little spot open, and then I'll just sew back up that side. And it got a little wonky on me, but that's okay, because I think it helps make more of a pocket where the stuff will actually shake instead of just being super flat. Oopsie. Aw, man, we almost had it, guys. We almost had it without an incident. Let me put these two in here. And that is a good amount. Super cute. Again, if you want to put like skulls in here. Oh my gosh. The shaker from Diamond Press that has like the little spiders. Oh my goodness. Oh, I don't have a lot of time, guys. Let me see. I'll be right back. Guys, I used the shaker when I did my other review. So I know I have it here. I'm going to find it. I'm not going to close this up until I do that because I think that'll be really cute. So I'll cut a few spiders just from that shaker kit and pop those guys in here, and then I'll just close it up. Okay, so if you are interested, please sign up by Wednesday and you can get started. I mean, obviously you can make your boxes, have them ready, and then we'll have everything else going. So again, look at that. I mean, that will tuck in there. That's why I basically wanted it to fit in there kind of snugly, and then everything else can tuck in wherever you want to put it. But oh my gosh, you guys, think this is gonna be a lot of fun. So hopefully you guys will like the idea and will join. And again, my email will be in the description box, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.